What's going on, everyone? The Kansas City Chiefs have absolutely dominated the AFC West the last several years and have the, if not one of, the best quarterbacks in the NFL currently. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a wizard out there on the football field. The things that he can make happen is unlike anything I've seen before. But this AFC West is just insanely stacked. I mean, you have the Raiders, the Chargers, the Broncos, all with top quarterbacks, all with quarterbacks that are likely top 10 in the league at the worst. I mean, this might be one of, if not the most stacked divisions I have ever seen. I mean, from just top to bottom. And any of these teams could easily be a team that could win the division and even maybe be a team to make it or even win a Super Bowl. And the Kansas City Chiefs, as dominant as they have been, the big question is, will they be able to remain atop the AFC West? Now, I never want to rule out Patrick Mahomes, but there are a lot of things that go into the Kansas City Chiefs this season. Obviously, they lost Tyreek Hill. And I know a lot of people feel, hey, that wasn't that big of a loss. We got, Smith-Schuster. You got Justin Ross. You still have, of course, Travis Kelce. You got Valdez from the Packers. You got Josh Gordon. I mean, you are stacked at the receiving core. You have everything you need from an offensive arsenal. But the loss of that 75-yard a game, easy, almost guaranteed touchdown is huge. Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill were able to manufacture an easy 7 on just their chemistry alone. And to lose that, I do think it hurts. I do think that it's going to be something that has to make them change their play style in many ways. They don't really have that huge explosive guy. Josh Gordon was that guy for a long time, but who knows how he's going to really be. Hopefully one of these other guys can kind of be the standout and be that sort of go-to. I mean, again, you still have Travis Kelce, so that's kind of your comfort, right? That's your comfort receiver that you really have to kind of help. But they lost pieces is the point. And losing those pieces are obviously going to be not a huge detriment, but it's gonna cause some new creativity. Andy Reid, he's an incredible offensive mind, especially with a guy like Patrick Mahomes. So I do think their offense is going to be successful. But a huge problem is their defense. How is their defense going to be this upcoming season? Because their offense has never been the issue. It's always been on the defensive end. Can you stop the other team? And there's a lot of new pieces on this Kansas City Chiefs team that is going to take time to figure out. I mean, they have, in many cases, an entirely new receiving core. And so you need to get that chemistry that Patrick Mahomes has been able to build with his previous receivers over the last several years. But good quarterback can make any receiver great. And they definitely have some solid receivers. But so do the Raiders. So do the Chargers, right? They have an incredible offensive arsenal. The Broncos, I think that they have the potential. I just think a lot of their guys are really young. And so it's like, what are they going to be able to be? But you're talking about Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson is a guy that can, from what we've seen, be able to carry a franchise, carry a team. I personally don't think he's that guy anymore. I don't think he's a guy that can just single-handedly win you games like he used to be able to. I do think Russell Wilson is still good enough for, 7 to 9 wins. But before, you were guaranteed 9 to 11 wins with Russell Wilson. You were guaranteed to be in the playoffs every single year with Russell Wilson. And this Chiefs team has had so much wear and tear, has had to play so many more extra games than most people. You see at some point these teams take a step back. And I'm not saying that this year will be that year, but it happens a lot. I mean, look at Tom Brady and the Patriots with that dynasty, or several dynasties, I guess. They had downtimes. They had years that they didn't make the playoffs. They had years that they weren't very good. They had years where they were good, but they got to the playoffs and just underperformed. And I just think that this AFC West is going to be an absolute dogfight. And the Chiefs, I don't think, are going to be able to walk to a division title like they've been able to the last few years. I mean, it was basically the Chiefs or nothing. They were behind by 3 games last year or something like that. And then all of a sudden it was there's 4 straight wins and now they're winning the division again. It's just The Chiefs are an amazing spectacle of a football team, and they are must-see TV. But I just have my concerns that they're going to take a slight step back. I don't think that they're going to, miss the playoffs, but one of these teams is going to have to be the odd man out. So if it's not the Chiefs, who is it? Is it the Raiders? Is it the Broncos? The Chargers? The Chargers basically sewed up all of the holes that they had. They were already a spectacular team that really underperformed, and there were some blatant holes and issues. Well, they fixed all that. And I feel like the Chiefs have kind of taken a step back a little bit. Raiders, it's not like they have like a stop defense. And then the Broncos, I think Broncos defense is really underrated at this point, but their offense I don't think is as good as the Chiefs or the Raiders or the Chargers. I think the Chargers have a little bit of everything, and we'll do a video diving into the Chargers, definitely. That's going to be the next team, and then that'll round out the AFC West. But again, you can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. You can't bet against Andy Reid. Andy Reid is just that mind offensively, at least, that can really get the best out of his quarterback, out of his receiving core. He's going to have some great sets. I just really worry about the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Are they going to be able to stop people? Is Patrick Mahomes going to have that 3 to 4 game just kind of slump? We saw it the last 2 years where like Patrick Mahomes, he just looks pedestrian almost for as spectacular as he is, and they go on like a 3-game losing streak, and everyone's like, oh, it's the end of the world, the Chiefs are terrible, and then all of a sudden they win like 6 straight, and they prove that they're still that team. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that this year. I think if Patrick Mahomes has a 3 to 4 game pedestrian just moment this season, I think that could really come and bite the Chiefs, in the behind. I really think that could end up being a huge deciding factor, because I really just think that this is going to be a dogfight. Now, of course, scheduling and stuff like that is a big factor, when you look at the schedules of all the teams. But the Chiefs have a pretty tough opening half. I mean, they play the Cardinals, the Chargers, the Colts, the Bucks, and the Raiders between September 11th and October 10th. And then it doesn't stop there. They play the Bills, they play the 49ers, and then they play the Titans. So their first free win game is against the Jaguars on November 13th. So you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. You're talking 8 weeks that the Chiefs have to play against what very likely will be playoff teams. Now I don't think that they're going to go 0-8 or anything like that. But the Bucks are at home. The Colts are at home. The Cardinals are at home. The only games that they have at home are against the Chargers, which should be good. And then you have the Raiders, which should be good, and the Bills, which should be good. But other than that, you play the Niners on the road. You play the Titans at home, so that's good. You're basically splitting these games, but it seems like the real tougher teams outside of the Bills, you're playing on the road. So this team needs to be good, and they need to be good right out the gate. There's no downtime for this team. This team not going to have time to try to figure it out and see what they could do. And, it doesn't get easier for them the entire season outside of a handful of games. They're only free win games this year are against the Jaguars on November 13th, and then the Texans December 18th, the Seahawks December 24th, and that's it. Other than that, you're playing the Raiders, the Broncos, the Broncos again, the Bengals, the Rams, the Chargers, the Titans, the 49ers, the Bills, the Raiders, the Bucks, the Colts, the Chargers, and the Cardinals. That is an insanely hard schedule. And if you watch the other videos I did on the other AFC West teams, I didn't go as heavily into the matchups because the other teams don't have as hard of a schedule. The other teams have a much easier schedule than this Kansas City Chiefs team. This Kansas City Chiefs team has an extremely difficult road this season. And I just think that if they do take even a slight step back, they could be the odd man out. They could be looking at this thing going, man, we need to win the next 3 games or we're not making the playoffs or something like that. It just, this year is going to be very hard for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I really think losing Tyreek Hill is going to hurt. I don't think it's going to be, like I said, I don't think it's hugely detrimental, but I think it's enough to where it's a serious thing because you immediately lose that easy Hail Mary touchdown every game. It's that connection. But as always, is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think about the Chiefs this year? Do you love their team? Do you think even the hard schedule, who cares? No big deal. It'll be fine. Do you think no? It's a lot. It's the Chiefs. You can't rule out Patrick Mahomes. They're going to be fine. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to do what they need to do. Like I said, I don't want to bet against the Chiefs. I don't think that they're going to be that they're going to miss the playoffs entirely. I don't. I think they're too good, too talented, have too good of a quarterback. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's a struggle to get there. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a point in this season where it's like, are they going to make the playoffs? And we're asking that question because it's tough. And all the wear and tear that they've had over the last several years, getting to the Super Bowls, things like that, they've had a rehaul in many ways of the roster. And I think they have a ton of talent, but I don't know. I have my concerns. I really worry about their defense, and they're playing a lot of really good defensive teams, and that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a big issue. And if they can't stop the other team and their offense isn't flowing, and maybe, like I said, Pat Mahomes, he has those 3 to 4 games where he looks pedestrian, that's going to be a huge problem. That could be a huge issue. But again, however you feel about the situation, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.